guys, and welcome to Faith Works Designs. I'm Faith, and today we're doing a really special video because it is my 100th video, and I wanted to kind of do something special. I decided that I wanted to do a video just on YouTube. I wanted to kind of share how I got started, how I grew my channel, what do I make financially going through YouTube. We're going to be talking about my job change / life situations. We're going to be covering all of that in today's video. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, how did I get started on YouTube? I am a teacher at heart, and I love teaching. That's why I homeschool my kids. But I did a home ec class in my home for a couple of summers, and it was really fun, and I really enjoyed working with the young ladies and young men that would come and learn how to cook. We did bread, my homemade bread. We did my famous sauce. If you guys want to learn how to make my famous sauce, let me know in the comment section down below. I thought that would be a fun video to do. I know it's not sewing related, but yeah. Anyway, COVID hit. And that was the end of that. And I missed so much having those kids in the house and just being able to teach. And so I thought, you know, maybe YouTube would be a cool way to interact with people and also hopefully make some side income. Sorry, I had to laugh. We're going to talk about finances in just a little bit. Anyway, I decided to go ahead, try YouTube. So how do you get started doing YouTube? What kind of equipment do you need? Like, how does one get started? Here's what I would suggest. Definitely start, and this is what everybody will tell you, start with what you have. I had this old, I don't even remember the name of it, Nikon camera, and if you guys can look at older videos, you can kind of tell the video quality wasn't like great, but it did the job, and it got me started on my YouTube channel. So I had this, and I had a stand. And, you know, a lot of people nowadays, your phones are actually better than some of the cameras that are out there. So to get started, I would suggest not spending any money. Just because you don't know how long it's going to take you to be able to make that money back. I did not buy a light. None of this stuff. I didn't buy any of this stuff until I started making money on YouTube because I wanted to be able to actually make the income to pay for everything. If you've watched my How to Start a Successful Business video, then you will understand where I'm coming from. I am not about buying things on credit or overspending on myself. I'd rather make the income to put towards the things that I'm going to need. So when I started my channel, I started with the camera that I had. We had a Mac at the time, so I went ahead and used iMovie. That is a whole nother video. iMovie is really stinking right now because it's driving me crazy. But anyway, so I had to take the time to learn iMovie. So you really got to make sure that you have the time to do this. YouTube is pretty much a full-time business. It's a full-time job. By the time you get done recording a video and then editing everything and then uploading everything, and yeah, so YouTube is not my full-time job. I do YouTube as kind of like a part-time side gig, and we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, YouTube is a lot of work. So if you're somebody that has a full-time job already and you're wanting to make this as a supplemental income, it's going to take time. So just keep that in mind when you get started. When I got started with my channel, I was posting every single week, and that got exhausting. I was just working so hard on these videos and trying to run my own business on the side. If you guys don't know, I have Faith Works Designs on Facebook. I do all of my business through there. We'll talk about life changes in a little bit. But I did all of my business through there. And then I was trying to do both, and it was a lot of work, and I was not monetized yet, so I wasn't making any money. I was spending all of this time making videos and just not making any money, which was really, really frustrating. But anyway, it took me, I want to say, less than a year to be able to be monetized, and that is because I advertised myself like crazy. I would find all these new sewing circles and sewing pages on Facebook, and I would advertise, like if I put a video out that I thought would be good for, say, my cloth diaper mamas. I made a cloth diaper pod. I went ahead and put that on their page just to kind of show them, hey, I've got this video and you could sew it yourself. And so I was posting on all these different pages for these different videos that I was going. That is how my channel really grew, is posting and sharing all of my videos in all these different places. Now, do not be annoying. There was one page that I was following on, and they actually took the page down because this one person kept posting every video that they made, and it was like constantly they were bombarding this page with all of their content. And it was actually another creator's content's Facebook page, and so that's rude. Don't do that. But just take a video here and there and go to somebody else's page and be like, hey, do you mind if I share this video? Or if it's like to be specific, there's a cloth diaper sewing Facebook page. So I went on that page and I was like, hey guys, I got this. So just kind of, you have to think outside the box. Find the different Facebook pages. Facebook's your friend for the most part. You can go on there and you can find all these different pages to advertise yourself on. A bunch of different sewing groups. Just, you're going to have to look and you're going to have to search for whatever niche it is that you're doing. It could be any craft for that matter. But if you're doing a YouTube channel and you're trying to get out there, the best thing that you can do is use social media. Now, I have found that posting pictures and posting links and stuff like that kind of doesn't work anymore. It's weird. It's just weird. We have become this society that just like scrolls, and so when you see a video, you stop. And so I've been utilizing TikTok a lot more lately, and it's one more thing for me to have to learn. But I've been using TikTok a lot lately, and when I post things, I'll go ahead and use a TikTok video instead of photos sometimes, because people will stop and watch a TikTok versus, looking at details on pictures. So definitely you're going to have to learn social media if you want your YouTube channel to grow. Keep that in mind, because I know it's one more thing. YouTube is a lot of admin. Let's talk about that real quick. So as far as sharing your stuff, you're going to have to actively try and share your stuff. Don't be rude and like post like crazy on one page. Like, spread it out. 2, your comment section is going to be really, really important. You're going to get a couple of people that are going to have questions, and they're going to put them in the comment section. Don't ignore those. Make some time in your day and go ahead and just set that aside for YouTube admin. My YouTube admin time is first thing in the morning. When I get up, I check my email, check my Facebook, and then I do YouTube. And I go ahead and make sure that I answer all of my comment section. If any of you guys have ever commented in my comment section, you know I'm going to answer you back. That will really help grow your channel. If you're one of those people that don't answer back, it kind of alienates people. I don't know. When you find somebody that will interact with you, you're more likely to watch their videos, because if you're watching one of their videos and you have a question and you go on there and ask them and they reply back, you're more likely to watch another one of their videos because you might have another question, and then you know that they're going to answer you back. Make sure that you answer your comment section. Make that a priority. I check it once a day because I'm busy doing all of this other crazy stuff. Answer it once a day and make sure that you're answering people's questions. So the next thing I wanted to address is YouTube schedules. When I first started, I was doing a video every single week. At first, starting out with YouTube not being my full-time job, it was really rough. So I moved my schedule to every other week, and that works pretty well for me, though my schedule has changed a little bit. If you're doing a video every single week, you're constantly having to come up with content, and that's what I was finding. At first, the content was there. I could think of a lot of things that I wanted to do and could do those with no problem. Now that I'm working with K&A, which is another life change situation, the content is kind of all over the place. There's no other way to describe it than my content is kind of all over the place. So I've been trying to keep my set schedule just because the YouTube algorithm is really weird. If you're posting every other week consistently and then all of a sudden you start posting like once a month, you're really going to see a difference in your income because of the algorithm. Again, we'll talk about income in just a minute. But my life has changed a bit because last year I was working both FaithWorks Designs on Facebook, trying to keep my business going, and I was doing sew-alongs for K&A. And I was exhausted and ready to just throw in the towel completely. I loved doing the sew-alongs for K&A, and that was something I have been wanting to do for a really long time because I've made bag patterns for forever, but I didn't know how to put the artwork to my bag designs to make them cooler to be able to sell. So when that opportunity came, I came to Kim and Alex, and I was like, look, we got to do something because I can't keep going the way that I'm going. We're either going to have to slow up on sew-alongs, or I'm going to have to quit my business and kind of branch out to other businesses to take my patterns to and be able to make money doing what I actually like doing. And so they were like, no, 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 you're not going anywhere. So K&A has taken me on. I do make commissions. Let's just talk about the K&A situation real quick. So K&A has these panels. So I make purse designs for K&A, and they come in these panels. Now we have done, when we first got started, they were all vinyl, like the lining, the outside, everything was vinyl. And then, you know, as we're learning how to do this, they've decided to keep the outside, all of their bases, and then the inside is going to be a different base. So if I get an outside that's pebble vinyl, the inside is going to be cotton woven. And so I, right now, am doing the bag designs for K&A. They take my bag designs and they put artwork to them. And then it's a very long process. One of our Harry Potter ones that we were working on took us a year to get completely correct. Between printing and then putting it all together, it was a doozy. It was a doozy. So it took us a really long time to kind of get it done. So my business pretty much, it's not dead, but it's almost dead because I'm putting so much time into this, and I've kind of decided that this right now is more important to me. And this is something that I've been wanting to do and that I love to do, and I'm so grateful that Kim and Alex have given me the opportunity to be able to do this because it's something that I love to do. Now, when we get the panels all finalized, they send them off for artwork. And then they come back to me, and then I'll do the videos and the written instructions. Now that my business is dying down and I'm focusing on this, my income has gone down a lot. That is why when you're doing YouTube, you need to learn how to diversify. If you watch any of the YouTubers out there, they don't just have their YouTube channel. They have like a swag shop, or they have some other form of income to get you guys to buy so that they can keep doing YouTube as a full-time job. The way that I decided to diversify was to do patterns on my Etsy shop for the K&A bag design. So I've done all the written instructions. I think there's a couple of bags that I haven't got yet, but I've written instructions for all of them so that there was a couple people that asked for the written instructions, and that wasn't something that Kim and Alex and I discussed when we were getting started. And so when that came up, I was like, do you guys mind if I use that as a second source of income? And they were like, no, go for it. So writing the written instructions for me is another source of income. A lot of YouTubers use Patreon as another way to financially carry themselves. When you're first starting out on YouTube, I wouldn't do Patreon. I wouldn't recommend it because you're just getting started figuring all of this out, and you're trying to get enough content for your YouTube channel, much less Patreon. So I would wait. My advice is I would wait. I tried to do Patreon in the beginning and people were like, what's that? A lot of the people that were watching my videos had no clue what Patreon was, and that's fine. Not a lot of people do. Patreon is a site where you can go to and content creators will put up videos that are specially for you, and then they have kind of like tiers where the $5, $10, $1, whatever tier, and then you'll get certain amount of content to be able to on that tier. So that's where I'm going to be diversifying next, because I'm really feeling the crunch. This economy stinks. Everybody that I've talked to, their business is kind of struggling right now financially to be able to keep going. So you've got to, any kind of business that you're doing, you've got to diversify. You can't keep doing the same thing that you're doing and expect that your business is going to keep growing. You've got to do different things. If you're just doing wallets, you've got to move on to purses. If you're, just doing purses, you've got to move on to something else. And so that's the next thing that we're going to be doing is Patreon. What are we going to have on Patreon? I have had to learn Illustrator this year so that I can make pattern pieces for K&As. It made our life so much easier when before I was taking pattern pieces that I was cutting out of paper, which were not like they were not symmetrical at all. And so I was taking those and I was scanning them and I was sending them to Alex, and Alex was like, this is not symmetrical, girl. And I'm like, I know. So I've had to learn how to use Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. And so I thought about doing a series on Patreon for how to do bag making, specifically how to make patterns to be able to put into your written directions to be able to sell. This is something new that I'm learning, so I obviously would not charge a lot for this, but I want to do it on Patreon to make sure that I make some money, because this took a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of work to be able to figure everything out. So that's why I think I'm going to put it on Patreon. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about that? Would you pay to learn how to do that? I know there are so many people that were just like me that make their own patterns but don't know how to get them digital and be able to take them and be able to sell them. And there are so many talented people. There are so many of you guys out there that are so talented, and we need your patterns because they're going to be amazing. And so that's why I was thinking that I would do it on Patreon, show you guys how I work Adobe Illustrator, and then that way you guys can start making your own patterns. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's talk about passive income. I haven't talked about that yet. So, all of my patterns that I have over on Etsy, no matter if I stop making patterns today, I will continue to make income off of Etsy. And that is kind of like my passive income. And I call it passive income because I do all of the work and then it's there. And then I don't have to mess with it. Every now and then I've had issues with people trying to download and not knowing how to download and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's passive. I make about $30-ish a week just selling my patterns on Etsy. And I don't have to do anything except for, take a day or two, edit, and, write everything out. But I'm going to be doing that anyway for all of my designs. So, to me, that's kind of passive income. Passive income is going to be really important, and I'm trying so hard this year. I'm trying so hard this year to add more passive income to what I'm doing because I am working so hard right now. I'm working a lot harder, not quite as hard as last year, but I'm working pretty hard this year because we're adding some stuff, and I'll talk about that in a second. But let's keep rolling with the finances situation. Sorry, had a kid. All right, where was we? That was great English. Where were we? All right. Let's see, income. Let's talk about that. So, YouTube. When I first started out, I was making a video every single week, but I wasn't monetized. I lost so much money waiting to be monetized. It was so frustrating because I was getting so many views on my how to start a successful business video, and I wasn't getting a penny from that, which really stinks. So I worked really hard on getting monetized. I heard that they're supposed to be lowering it to 500 subscribers and start getting monetized. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, monetization. So it did take me about less than a year, I think, give or take some time, to be able to be monetized. And so it is really important, and I know how important it is, but I don't think I realized how important I needed to push people subscribing. The more subscribers you have, the better your income is going to be. There are so many factors into how to make your income better, but one of those is definitely subscribers. One of those is going to be, how often do you post? If you post once every other week or once a month, you're not going to be making as much as somebody that posts like every single week, or somebody that posts several videos a week. You're just not. Your income is based off of how many commercials they can run during your videos. There are ways of increasing that number, but I don't want to like super irritate people with like constantly having to watch commercials. Another factor is watch time. If you've ever started a video and you stop and walk away and you forget about it or whatever, that really hurts the content creator with their finances. So I didn't know this. You really need to try and watch a video all the way through. If you're going to watch a video, make sure that you've got time to finish that video all the way through, because the content creator is going to be getting paid for how many commercials are in that content. And if you're only watching, 5 minutes of it, YouTube is like, well, that video must have stunk. So watch time is really important. And now I've found myself, now that I know everything, not everything, but a lot, I know that when I'm going to watch a video, I'm going to make sure that I have that 15 minutes or whatever the video time is to sit down and watch it. And I'm going to watch it all the way through. I am also going to like people's videos. Sometimes I watch videos on my TV, so I can't, like every single video, but I will try and go back and make sure that I like that video so that they can get the support that they need. Because every time you like a video, every time you subscribe, every time you comment, like all of that stuff factors into your income and how many other people are going to see the video that you're working on. And if you've got like a bunch of likes on it, YouTube is like, okay, we need to promote this video, because YouTube is making money off of ad revenue too. So they want your videos to do well. So make sure that you like those videos. Whenever you're watching them, whatever they are, make sure that you like them and help that content creator out. Alright, so how much do I make on YouTube? I only post every other week. YouTube is not my full-time job. If I were to make it my full-time job and really push, I could probably be making more. I'm really close to 10,000. I've really been trying hard to push a little bit more for subscribing to get to 10,000, because it does, 10,000 subscribers, because it really does help increase your income. Right now, I make roughly around $130 a month. It just depends. It does vary a lot, and so coming towards the end of the month, I'm like, you've got to hit that $100 mark, and sometimes I'm close. You do not get paid by YouTube unless you hit $100. So you can be monetized and you can be making videos, and if you don't hit $100, you don't get paid that month. So it really depends on what you're doing. So if towards the end of the month videos are just not doing well or people aren't watching them, I'll start posting again and start promoting myself again so that I can hit that $100. I'm going to tell you what, with this economy the way that it has been, that $130 has really helped my family out. The money from Etsy has really helped me out. Kim and Alex's panel selling has really helped me out, which, by the way, if you buy a panel from K&A, which I meant to cover earlier, I do get a small portion of that, so that helps me pay to be able to like make more patterns. So if you want to support the channel at all, buy a panel from K&A, buy the written instructions for those panels. That really helps me out to be able to do this, because right now all the side things that I'm doing is what's helping pay the bills right now. K&A is not just doing our they're not just doing our sew-alongs, but we are also adding a few more things to the site to increase my income, to help me out. Kim and Alex have been so great about wanting to help me succeed with this pattern writing and things like that. So they're wanting to work with me in being able to do this. So there's a pattern that people have been asking for, and it is coming out very soon, probably next year. And so if you want to see the pattern and when it comes out, make sure that you subscribe, and then also make sure that you interact with K&A Custom Fabrics page. So is YouTube for you? Would I recommend it? I think with an honest, open-eyed reality of what YouTube was going to be for you, I would say yes. It's a pretty cool venue to be able to learn things, get to know people, make contacts. YouTube is pretty fun. However, go into it with a realistic expectation that you're not going to be making killing. You're not going to be making a lot of money, especially right away until you're monetized. So if you've got a really good video that you think that people are going to really like eat up, save that for when you're monetized. I wish that I mean, my How to Start a Successful Business got the subscribers in, but man, it would have been nice to be monetized when that came out, because I missed a lot of income because of that video. Also, I would say before you get started, do your research on what people are looking for. So if you're planning like videos, I would highly recommend making some sort of plan ahead of time and saying, this week I'm going to do this thing, next week I'm going to do this thing, and plan it out. Because if you don't, you're going to kind of get overwhelmed with all of these ideas you want to do, and then you're going to record a bunch, and then you're going to edit a bunch, and then you're just going to be kind of stressed out at the end. Make a list of all the things that you want to do. Start with one, edit it, get it up. Also, before you kind of post your YouTube channel, I would definitely have more than one video. I watched a couple of videos on how to do YouTube a little bit more successfully, and one of the things they said was make sure you don't just have one video. You want them to be able to see kind of what you're like and what the content is going to kind of be like, so that they're more likely to subscribe, because you may lose out on that subscriber if you only have that one video and they're like, well, maybe, I don't know. Make sure that you have a couple of videos for them to be able to watch, and that way they can kind of go through and see, okay, this is somebody that I want to subscribe to, and then they'll subscribe. When I started out, I started one at a time, but if I had to do it over again, I probably lost some people because I didn't have more content for them to look at to see if they liked me or not. And honestly, it has a lot to do with whether people like your personality or not. You know, if you're just, I find myself to be kind of more like straightforward when I'm doing my sew-along videos, and I hate that. But I'm kind of like, let's get down to business when I'm making the videos, because I know how long it takes for me to do a sew-along video. But people are going to either like your personality or they're not, so you need to give them the opportunity to get to know you, and that's kind of where the intros and the outros come into play as well, just so that people can see your personality. Don't be afraid to kind of put yourself out there. You're going to get some weird comments. There is a way to hide bad comments if you don't like it. I have gotten a couple of guys that are posting weird crap, and I'm like, I know I'm pretty. But you're going to get some weirdos. You're going to get some weird comments. It just is what it is. The bigger your channel grows, the more of those things are going to kind of come. They're just going to kind of happen. Just be prepared for that. You're probably not going to get any sponsors for a while. Let's talk about that. Sponsors are people that are going to want to sponsor a video. They're going to pay you to advertise their product. Now, I'm going to get a little sassy for just like a whole minute, so just bear with me. If you guys only knew how many Sailrite fabricator machines I have sold with my videos, have you noticed that Sailrite has a lot of commercials now? I'm just saying. So I reached out to SaleRite, and granted, I was probably at like 6,000 subscribers, and I'm like, hey, do you guys want to sponsor a video? And I knew that there had been a bunch of people buying the machine because of my videos. And so I reached out to them, and they were like, we don't do sponsorships right now, but they went ahead and sent me some product, and I did this video. And so one day, the dream is to have SaleRite sponsor a video, because I have sold a crap ton of their machines. If you bought a fabricator from SaleRite, you send them a message and let them know that you bought it because of me. I keep wanting to put that in my videos. I'm like, if you guys bought a SaleRite because you watched one of my videos, let them know. I want to get sponsored at some point this year. Sponsors will come around eventually. You really have to be kind of up in the subscriber level to be able to get those sponsorships. And I believe after you hit 10,000 subscribers, that's when you start getting like a lot of spam mail. So just be careful. Once you get there, be careful with the different people that you're messaging back and forth, because from what I've heard, I haven't got there yet. What I've heard is that there's a lot of spam stuff, so you need to be really careful with information and all of that stuff going out. Don't just give everybody your address. And you probably need to set up a different email for just your YouTube channel so that companies can reach out to you if there's something that they want to do with you. That way, if it is a bunch of spam mail, you don't have to deal with it. You can just delete it off. Alright guys, I hope you liked that video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe. I am so close to 10,000. So close. I want to get there to kind of help increase my income. If you like this video, check out some of my other videos. They might be helpful. It seems like you guys always like my talking videos a lot more than my tutorials, because you get to know me, and I guess that's why you like them. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. If this video was helpful at all, let me know. Because I kind of struggled. I wanted to do some of the questions that like I would want to ask somebody that does YouTube, and you know, a lot of people aren't open about stuff like this, and I'm just like, it's not a big deal. You can find out people's income on Google. But you know, I think if I had a more realistic expectation of what I was going to get out of YouTube, I probably would have not been so stressed out in the beginning, because I was like, I have to put a video out every single week so I can get to that subscriber, so that I can get to being monetized, you know. It was just kind of like that. I don't know. I think if I had had the real expectation of, you know, it may take you over a year, it may take you 2, who knows, to be able to be monetized, and then, you know, you're only going to be making, you know, $100 a month. I think if you can start out with a better mindset of how things might actually end up, you might do better. You might not be as stressed out. You might be more laid back in your videos. And then just remember that content, for content's sake, isn't good. Make sure that you do a video that you really, really like. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I want to do more SaleRite videos because I've learned a lot after having her for a couple of years. I just posted this video on if I still like her or not. The answer is definitely yes. But I've learned a lot about her in the last 2 years that I've had her. So there's more content that's like up here. It's just getting it out, because I'm doing a lot of videos for K&A now. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but my channel is like slowly but surely filling up with K&A videos. And so I'm trying to like squeeze in like my normal videos and things that I would normally do. But anyway, I'm rambling. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe and hang around and see what else we do this year. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I do check those daily. And thanks for joining us again on Faith Works Designs. Bye guys.